Tonight, on Top 20. Buckle up, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride. We're counting down the most outrageous Whackos at the wheel. Which will be number one? The world's worst female driver? Racing's most clueless motorhead? Or the captain who can't find the brakes? Don't count out the mother of all wedgies. Or the six-cylinder payback. From land, sea, and even the air. These are the most insane moments of motorized madness. Which will be number one? On Top 20, Whackos at the wheel. Now, let's hit the gas on number 20. Argentina's top race series showcases the country's most talented drivers. This leadfoot, however, is not one of them. One racer's holding the pace in the middle of the pack. Then he forgets the most important step to negotiating any turn. Actually, turning. He blasts through a tire wall and plows into a nearby garage. A mechanic barely dodges the 150-mile-an-hour bullet. Of course, if you have to crash, a garage is the smart place to do it. Your car is going to end up there anyway. Hard to believe, but the speed demon walks away without a scratch. Although the shop is total. He didn't win this race, but he's not discouraged. The competitor knows that someday he'll get his turn. Off the track and onto the streets for number 19. Sergeant Michael Sexton knows trouble when he sees it. Or in this case, when he hears it. Just behind him, a motorist is going bonkers in a shopping center.
I could hear the revving of an engine, the squeal of tires breaking traction on the pavement, just driving through the parking lots like a madman.
With a cop on his tail, the renegade cranks up the recklessness. He's out of control, and the sergeant has no idea why.
Just went sideways.
Do I have a stolen truck? Did the guy just commit a crime and he's trying to get away?
Whoever he is, this guy's no escape artist. The suspect takes a turn too fast and flips.
We just rolled.
His ride's out of commission, but he's still making noise.
Help me! Help me! I think he's pinned underneath the car. No! Is it on your arm? No! It's on his arm. No!
I felt bad for the guy that, he was screaming in pain.
The officer set the suffering man loose. But he won't go free.
Get down. Lay there.
He was arrested that night for driving under the influence of alcohol. I was thinking to myself, what an idiot.
He's headed to jail. But even though this punk went from peeling rubber to squealing blubber, He still can't roll over to number 18. They say that most accidents occur within 10 miles of the home. Or in the case of this Sunday driver, just 10 feet from the door. It's this woman's first day with a license. Her husband throws the gate open so wide that even a tank could get through. Unfortunately, she's not driving a tank. Her family rushes to free her from the wreckage. They pull her out one piece at a time. First her sweater, then her purse, and finally, the ditzy lady herself. She's dazed, but to the amazement of onlookers, she's completely unhurt. Of course, when she gets the repair bill, she'll probably flip out. What's more dangerous than a driver with a bad temper? Not much. This worker is simply trying to drop garbage in a dumpster. But he's rolled his stairs in the way of an irate motorist. When the raging wheelman dings his car on the frame, he goes ballistic. And he's just getting started. Look out! He slams the stairs again and nearly mows down the helpless man. He'll be fine. But a more unfortunate target of road rage rolls in at number 17. The aftermath of a bloody tussle. This hoodlum was just caught vandalizing a gas pump. When the station guard tried to stop him, the hothead attacked. Of course, the brute has his own story.
O elemento nos agrediu, velho. Olhem, olhem, olha aqui.
Security has already called police. But the punk wants four-wheel payback. And he wants it now. The maniac floors it and drills the injured guard. Then the gutless thug takes off. Amazingly, the officer is okay. When cops catch up with the suspect, he's ready with another sob story.
Eu tentei só fugir, cara.
But the video says it all. He's charged with attempted murder. Maybe the menace will find more sympathy in the state pen. Coming up, who's in a tighter jam? This high seas hippo or this tall trucker? The countdown to number 1 is picking up speed. On Top 20, Whackos at the wheel. The countdown rolls on. From a wrong-way racer to a squealing boozer. Top 20 has seen what happens when newbies hit the pavement. And when rowdies blow their top. Now get in gear for number 16. The Imperial Sand Dunes in Glamis, California. A place for the wildest motorheads to rip up the desert. Scores of enthusiasts gather to watch each other shred. When ATV rider Trevor Thomas finds a massive jump, his buddies get some sweet shots on video. But as the hot shot roars into the leap one last time, things go terribly wrong. Trevor rockets into the air, right toward his friend holding the camera. He clears his pal by inches, only to slam into a pile of parked quads. Others clear the way and find Trevor laid out flat in the sand. He's not responding. Bystanders crowd over him looking for injuries. The tough kid's got a serious concussion, but he's okay. Maybe now Trevor will ease off the accelerator and look before he leaps. Why do all crooks think they're going to make a clean getaway when they're really on the road to ruin? This genius in Michigan rammed his way out of a garage, and he's got a souvenir to prove it. Surrounded by police, the Mario Andretti of motorhomes turns the chase into a demolition derby. He smashes into patrol cars, hoping to dislodge the door. Apparently, he left the remote back at the crash site. After rear-ending a couple more cruisers, cops close the door on his escape. If you think that's demented driving, get a load of the lunatic at number 15. Chattanooga, Tennessee. A disorderly redneck has invented a new form of drag racing. And get a load of what he's dragging.
This guy is actually dragging a soda machine behind his vehicle. And I couldn't believe that this was actually real.
If Deputy Jason Pickle can't believe what the thief's doing, then he definitely can't figure out why he's doing it. At most, this guy might get away with $60 worth of loose change. Or maybe he's just really thirsty. Either way, Pickle has to get him off the streets. Then he gets a break. Suddenly, the box snaps free. Now that he's lost his booty, the man has also lost the will to run. Just like that, he pulls over and gives up. Old Sparky is charged with vandalism and theft. Officers suspect that he's intoxicated. They later discover he's stone cold sober, which makes his actions even more baffling. One thing's for sure, instead of a cold pop, this wacko cracked open a can of stupidity. More idiocy is bubbling up at number 14. It's early morning at a nearly empty intersection. A 60-year-old woman is trying to cross the street. But even under the watchful eye of this police cruiser, she learns that no street is truly safe. The clueless woman behind the wheel must have a blind spot the size of her SUV. She speeds through the turn and plows Granny head on. Luckily, help couldn't be any closer. Just off camera, the patrolman checks on the injured senior.
I got an A1 7, all right?
Oh, Lord, my knee and my arm.
The careless driver also tries to help.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Just get back in your vehicle. We're going to get the phone right over here.
But in a shocking and callous move, the lawbreaker takes off.
Should be a black vehicle with a white female driver. It just pulled right there. I don't see her anymore.
The pedestrian eventually recovers from the horrific battery. As for the hit-and-run Hellcat, thanks to this footage, cops will soon track her down. Truckers may be the kings of the road, but when they drive like the dopes of the road, it can spell big trouble for everyone. Desperate to make a deadline, this long hauler refuses to stop after hitting a compact. But if you don't think these nitwits are everywhere, take a look at number 13. A heads up to truckers in North Carolina. Those signs that say how much clearance there is to go under a bridge aren't just suggestions. This rig doesn't even slow down at the entrance to the underpass. But brakes are pointless when you try to fit 12 feet of semi under 11 feet of concrete. Now everyone has to wait for rescuers to pull the imbecile clear. You shouldn't feel bad. This underpass is known as the truck guillotine.
I'm having a little bit of deja vu here, man.
The workers finally managed to free the latest victim and get him back on his way, slightly worse for the wear. Next time he wants to take on the guillotine, he'll know to use his head, or else lose his load. Coming up, more Whackos are just down the road. But which will be number one? The chopper pilot who thinks he's flying a jet? Or the guy who's giving his friends a ride? They're all going overboard to claim top prize. On Top 20, Whackos at the wheel. On the countdown to number one, you've seen thrill seekers reach new heights. And fools go the distance. A brutal crosswalk crash. And a nasty underpass smash. Now check out the numbskulls hitting the ice at number 12. Hockey players look for any way to entertain themselves when their beloved season is over. Especially these rink-a-dinks, who charge into an empty arena with bikes instead of blades.
We're at the Ontario Ice Center, riding 50.
But there are worse things than a penalty box in this reckless escapade. Who needs a double sow cow when you can faceplant like this? The puckhead's nose is a bloody mess.
Ain't that my face don't look so bad.
All that ice may help numb the pain. Though there's no cooling off the madman at number 11. Come quitting time, the one place you're sure to find Terry Jeffries is at his favorite watering hole. Tonight he's spending time with a lady friend when he is informed that one of his buddies is being thrown out for fighting. They both leave to make sure he's all right.
We picked the little guy up, walked him to the car.
But the scrapper is still ticked off and lashes out in the worst way.
Started walking back toward the bar, and I heard the car rev up, and the next thing I knew, I looked back, and the guy was driving straight toward us and hit us.
Terry and his gal are nearly pancaked by the very friend he just helped. Another patron grabs the wheel and is taken for a hell ride. He gets free of the hothead, who makes one last pass before speeding off. Cops quickly arrive, and soon the ornery driver is found and taken into custody. But Terry will think twice before responding to the call of a friend in need.
No good deed goes unpunished. That's why I got hit by a car.
A hot-tempered barfly can't top the whirly bird brain at number 10. An air show on the coast of Spain draws thousands for surf, sun, and aerial acrobatics. A foolish chopper pilot thinks he can do the same sick tricks as jet fighters. But he's about to get a serious reality check. The stunt jockey tries to dive in low for a swoop across the surface, but instead goes for a swim. The crowd watches in stunned silence as emergency crews race to the rescue. The gloom lifts as the men are ferried back to safety, and a hero's welcome. In fact, they survive without a scratch, which is more than you can say for their helicopter. Maybe next time these airheads will remember to leave the tricks to the high flyers. Now roll right in to number 9. What goes together better than girls, motorcycles, and live entertainment? How about a cycle, 2 girls, and a dommage à trois? This 2-wheeled Romeo tries hoisting one in front and one in back. But instead of a grand entrance, he and his ladies eat dirt. They say experience is the greatest teacher. And if that's the case, this gearhead just learned a very painful lesson. Ramps and tramps don't mix. More countdown straight ahead. But which will be number 1? This not-so-happy camper? The most destructive ship of fools on the 7 seas? Or the wildest finish to a freeway chase? Don't forget to look both ways. On Top 20, Whackos at the wheel. The countdown race is on. From a biker with a nose for jumps to a bruiser with a bone to pick. When a wacko takes the wheel, trouble is never far behind. Now, light up the night with number 8. Hollywood bangs out plenty of wild action films. And this Tinseltown thug is auditioning to be a villain. The hoodlum flashed a gun driving past police. Now he's terrorizing the rest of L.A., blowing through intersections, scraping between cars, and cutting off everyone on Sunset Boulevard. Cops hang back, hoping to avoid disaster. But the goon nearly takes out a pedestrian. Now LAPD knows they'll have to pull the plug on this performance. Even the punk's overworked vehicle is ready to call it quits. But he's not done hogging the spotlight. And his next move is a real showstopper. The SUV clips another car, and both conk out at the corner. Now the bully gets a close-up with handcuffs in front of all the local viewers in La La Land. Looks like the wannabe bad guy nailed this audition. Next comes the publicity photos at the police station. You don't need a car to have a bad driver. Just a complete idiot manning the controls. Looks like he got a little too excited for some shore leave. But for a real high seas fool, hoist the sails on number 7. Here's something you often see happen in a parking lot. But not a seaport. Maybe it's the helmsman's favorite parking space. Or maybe Captain Morgan's had a few too many. Either way, he better have insurance, because this massive mistake causes over $1 million in damage. The captain has a reputation for running a tight ship. Though it might be a little too tight. Now, the chaos goes express at number 6. The last place you want to find a wacko is at the wheel of public transportation. Unfortunately, these light rail passengers in Houston are on a collision course with just that. An absent-minded bus driver blows through a red light and gets T-boned by the train. The rattled passengers are thrown into confusion, including Dantrell Robinson, who's in the second car.
All of a sudden, just bam, it just impact. I'm almost falling out of my seat, and we don't know what happened.
The bus operator's mistake leaves several people injured. All it took was one oblivious driver to turn mass transit into mass destruction. Straight ahead, we're pulling out all the stops. Don't miss a runaway stoner who suffers a big-time bummer. A redneck smash and grabber on a spree for smokes. Or the drifting doofus who's a real camera hog. Which whack job will be number one? On Top 20, Whackos at the wheel. Whether they're heading downtown or just out to sea, a wacko at the wheel is always steering toward disaster. Just ask the Einstein in the driver's seat at number 5. Talk about a rock in a hard place.
Think he's stuck?
This man's camper is seriously cramped. He did manage to fit it in the narrow garage.
You reckon reverse back and give it some? Just give it some pillock.
But getting it out is proving dicey. So Mr. No Brains decides that one good yank ought to do it.
You ready then? Go on, give it some.
Yep, that did it all right. One shot of the gas, and the entire floor is ripped out. Guess what? It's still stuck. After this bungled extraction,
Think he's stuck?
let's hope he owns a tent.
You ready then? Go on, give it some.
You can lock up, set an alarm, even use surveillance cameras. But it won't stop a thief who's driven to steal. This motorist rams the front door of a gas station and repeats as necessary. Once inside, the perp makes off with about $500. But that's nothing compared to the damage to the building. About $25,000 worth. It doesn't figure to pay off for the burglar. Didn't even bother to wear a mask. But for a small-timer who really thinks he's a big wheel, watch the wacko at number 4. A convenience store in Louisiana. A Cajun with a crowbar breaks in and helps himself to what's in the till. The store owners manage to clean up the mess and get right back in business. But just a month later, the same hoodlum is back. And this time, he's got a new technique. He turns the place into a drive-through, punching a full-size hole in the front door. The destruction is massive, but he's not done yet. The man and his pal get down to business, hauling off a safe. 8 other stores around town get the same crash and carry treatment, causing $500,000 in damage. What are they getting for all their trouble? A little cash, but mostly the cops say cartons of cigarettes. Risking arrest for grand theft auto and breaking and entering? All for some cigarettes? Safe to say, this was one plan that was destined to go up in smoke. Now see what happens when smarts hit the skids. It's It's always a rough road when amateur racers try to make like pros. Two illegal street racers buzz the crowd and dodge each other at high speed. But their parking lot ballet is about to become a slam dance.
Oh my God!
Even though they're the only two daredevils within a square mile, the ditzy drifters still manage to find each other. Seatbelts and airbags save both men, but their dreams of glory just got scrapped. For more four-wheel madness, shift gears to number 3. It's an open competition for rubber-burning wannabes. But having a helmet and fancy decals doesn't make you a professional. Even with this much room to rip it up, one drifter just can't get a grip. The overeager newbie punches it through the turn and instantly loses control. It's almost worse for the trackside photographer, who leans over too far and snaps doom coming right at him. He ducks from what could have been the last shot of his life. To everyone's astonishment, the greenhorn also emerges from the wreck without a scratch. Beginner's luck ultimately saves the night. But this reckless road warrior needs to follow his learning curve, or he could hit a real dead end. From racetrack hijinks to full-speed terror at number 2. A snowy night. Perfect conditions for a sleigh ride, but not so much for cars. Especially when there are drunken dimwits on the street. A taxi driver has the green light, but gets lit up by a drunken leadfoot who runs a red. The cabbie is alive, but in serious condition, while the drinker responsible for the carnage escapes unhurt. But at least after this calamity, they'll never be allowed to drive again. Coming up, the wildest driver yet. Take him out. And he's on a collision course with disaster. Number 1 is next. On Top 20, Whackos at the wheel. From thousands of videos, we've counted down the most ridiculous, most outrageous, most dangerous Whackos at the wheel. But just wait until you see the Hellraiser at number 1 in our Top 20 countdown. Nothing gets a cop's blood pumping like a high-speed chase.
Go up the right shoulder, hit very heavy traffic. You're gonna hit somebody out here.
After running from a minor traffic ticket, This wild man in a van has led a police escort for over 50 miles.
Take him out! Take him out!
Just when it looks like they've got the offender boxed in, he sneaks out of the noose.
We're gonna have to get him off the road. He almost ran me over.
But it's even more dangerous than officers realize. The man is carrying a cargo that will stun these veteran cops.
He's caught up in traffic around Crater. You may take Crater Road. Going back left lane, southbound, southbound.
When lawmen see a chance to take him out, they act.
Mike McCann's gonna take him out. There we go.
A tap to the rear bumper. And the van goes rolling. Police swarm the downed vehicle. And that's when they find a heart-stopping sight. The driver took his fiance's 3 kids along for the hell ride. To everyone's relief, the tots are still strapped into their seats and haven't suffered a scratch. As for the half-crazed suspect, after turning an interstate into 4 lanes of terror, he raced all the way to jail and picked up #1 in our top 20 countdown. From double-lane flip-outs to alternative modes of altercation. If they're out for a spin, you'd better put it in park. There's a new breed of road hogs, Whackos at the wheel. Whether they're speeding toward oblivion or just oblivious to what's in front of them. When these driveway dropouts punch it, they really mean it. And you just hitched a ride all the way to #1. On Top 20, Whackos at the wheel.